I'm turning 31 years old today. That's right. You're watching this video on August 28th, which is my birthday. It's my birthday. Today we're talking about what it's like to have lived 31 years, what I've learned, what I've regretted, and all of that fun stuff right here on the number one day trading channel. We're talking about life. We're talking about mistakes. We're talking about everything right here, right now. So let's go. If you think about it, it's a really long time. 31 years. My average viewer age is between 30 years old and 60 years. I think it's like 25 and 40. So I'm right in the middle of my peak YouTube subscriber age point. So I am at the optimal age to speak to you guys. The optimal, basically, I'm at the peak of my YouTube career. I'm not trading today, and I wanted to make a video talking about just kind of what it's been like, some of the regrets, some of the things that I wish I could have done better, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see some of the comments down below if you guys also are facing some of these tribulations and some of these trials and some of these problems at the age of 31. First off, I've never been married. I'm currently single, and I'm getting fat. I don't know if the first two are terrible, but the third one is definitely an issue. Honestly, I think I'm looking better than I ever have before. I'm not sure why. I don't really work out other than me going fishing and me making YouTube videos and working on the boat, which I've been doing pretty much every day recently. Now, what I really wanted to talk about here in this video today is just kind of some of the things that I feel like people might relate to, or they might be like, yeah, you know, I also have that problem, or I've had that problem. So now I'm 31 years old. Everybody, all my friends, you know, everybody that I knew when I was younger, they either have families, they're married, they've moved. I'm at the point where, you know, my circle of friends is getting smaller in terms of people who are available to do things. You know, most people, like I said, have jobs, full-time jobs, they're married, they have kids, and they don't have a lot of time to really do fun things. So instead of doing fun things with people, I'm now basically doing fun things by myself. I do have a couple friends left, but in general, that does seem to be the pattern. As you grow older, you start to kind of lose friends who are kind of busy with their own lives. And it's not that I'm mad about that. I mean, people have their own lives to live, and I'm living my life. Getting closer to the point that I thought I would be at a certain point in life, you know? So when I was younger, when I was 20, I thought that when I would be 30, you know, I would have all these certain things. You know, I'd be married and have a house and be living a certain way, but basically everything that I thought would happen when I was younger, I thought that would happen by the time I was 30. Just, I don't know, it just really hasn't happened. And it's not that I'm sitting here kind of like, oh, I gotta, you know, I'm racing to do those things. I don't really have like this like goal of like, I gotta get married, I gotta buy a house and do all these certain things before a certain age. But when you're younger, you kind of think that, you know, when I'm 20, 30 is a really long time away, right? So I'm 20 years old, I've got 10 years to do all these crazy things, and then by the time I'm 30, I'll kind of start to figure out life. But now, I'm 31 years old, you know, last year obviously I was 30, but now I'm 31 years old, and I still am sitting here like, I gotta figure this thing out, I gotta figure life out, you know? I was making $1,000, $2,000 a month when I was 20 years old filming, and now I'm making a lot more money a month, obviously making a lot more money now, and I'm still kind of facing the same problems with life. You know, as you get older, you start to make more money, you start to buy more things, you start to live a certain way. Instead of going to Chick-fil-A, you start going to the nicer restaurants. Instead of paying, you know, $20 for dinner, you're paying $100 for dinner. Instead of buying a small car, you're buying a large car. Instead of getting a one-bedroom house, you're getting a two-bedroom house. Instead of having a small boat, you're starting to get a big boat. And it's all like kind of relevant. You know, when I was 20 years old, making $2,000 a month, I thought that when I would be 30 years old, I'd be making, you know, 10 times that. If I could make $20,000 a month, I'd be super rich, right? I thought I'd be a millionaire, but now I'm at that point and I'm like, I'm not super rich. And I gotta figure this out, right? I understand the idea that if I'm spending a certain amount of money that I should stop. You know, if I'm making $20,000 a month, I shouldn't be spending $20,000 a month. Obviously, I understand that idea. But the problem is, as you get older, life becomes more expensive, and it's just kind of all correlating. It's all correlating to that sense of making more money as you're getting older, but also spending more money. And I guess that's one thing I really got to focus on, going forward from here, is if I'm making $20,000 a month now, and in the future, I'm like, if I can make $40,000, well, I need to live like I'm living now. I need to basically live like I'm making $20,000 a month for the rest of my life. So that way, when I'm making $40,000 to $50,000 a month, I'm sitting there like, I'm actually making money, right? I'm actually getting ahead in life. I can't just keep kind of just spending and spending and spending and getting to the point where it's just like always trying to catch up. If I'm making 20 now, if I can make 30 in the future, I'll be rich. It needs to be like, okay, I've kind of got to the point in life where I'm finally where I need to be. I'm kind of happy. I've got the things that I want. I live a certain way, and I've got to kind of be content with that. And then if I make extra money on top of that, I need to use that money for investments and for other ways to basically make my life easier going into the future. I don't think I'll ever be able to really retire. I don't have a 401k. I don't really have any type of retirement plan. I probably should have started that a long time ago, but what am I going to do, right? I don't have a real job, and I'm basically just out here living off of YouTube money. And we all know that the YouTube money isn't a lot of money, is it? What you thought was a lot of money just is not a lot of money. What you thought would make you really kind of content and happy in terms of how much money you're making isn't really enough to make you content and happy. And it's not that I'm not happy, but I would, I'd obviously like to make more money, so that way I can basically, I don't want to spend that money, obviously. That way I can use that money for investments or buying a house or whatever it is. There's got to be a point in life where I kind of just stop spending and I start saving and I putting money to better uses, I guess is the good way to put it. Another thing is just kind of overall, where are you at in life? For me, I thought personally, or career-wise, I would be kind of, I don't really know what I thought. I thought maybe I'd be making like Hollywood movies or doing something crazy, or I thought I'd be filming a lot more than I kind of am now, but I don't think that I kind of envision the world the way it is today with social media and stuff like that. When I was younger, everything was kind of long format, everything was kind of TV and like DVDs and long format. So if you made a movie, you spent a lot of time. You spent an entire year to make a movie. But now with social media, with Facebook and everything is so instant. People don't want to wait a year to see a movie. They want that snip, they want that clip right now, right then. So I had to kind of evolve as well. I couldn't just keep making long movies. I couldn't spend an entire year making a movie to release it, to sell it, because nobody buys DVDs anymore. And really just nobody buys anything anymore. They're just getting it all for free online. So I think that was kind of something that you don't imagine when you're younger. The same thing if you're if you're a fax machine seller, if you're selling fax machines, and then the email comes out, you're kind of like, oh shit. Little did I know that the fax machine would one day be obsolete. So I've had to evolve and kind of learn how to make money in a new world. Looking back, I don't really regret anything. Obviously everything that I've been through has kind of made me who I am today. There's things that I wish I wouldn't have said in a moment of anger or an emotional moment. Definitely, I wish that I might have left different situations a little differently. Overall, I don't regret kind of where I am in life, what I've kind of done to get here. Obviously, I had to step on some toes along the way. There's people out there who aren't my biggest fans, definitely people that aren't fans of kind of what I've done to get to where I am. But so there's going to be people who are going to disagree with you, and you've got to kind of just realize that along the way. And I don't think it only has to do with YouTube or really anything like that. I think it's really just kind of overall life. There's people, no matter what you're doing, if you're working at McDonald's, there's going to be somebody who's going to be upset that if you get a promotion, if you're getting a promotion, somebody's not getting a promotion. If you're getting a raise at work, there's probably somebody else who's not getting a raise. And that's always going to make people upset. People are going to be mad, they're going to be jealous. And the bigger picture is I am where I am today because of what I've basically done, or where I've come from, and I've grinded to get to that point. A lot of people think that I've made a lot of money or I've done this only because I come from a lot of money, and that's not true by any means. My dad has his own business. My mom is living in a shelter. My brother overdosed from drugs. I did not come from a rich family by any means, and I don't have any trust fund or anybody paying my bills. Everything that I have today is from me working hard and getting to that point. So that's definitely one thing that I'm proud of, and one thing that I'm not afraid to talk about, that I've put in the work, I've put in the effort, and I've gotten to where I am today because of that. And I think a lot of people are afraid, or a lot of people don't realize that there's nobody else out there who's gonna do it for you. There's nobody who's gonna knock on your door. Maybe I was waiting for someone to knock on the door, but no one's gonna knock on your door and offer to just give you money. I was just hoping that somehow maybe the door would just, like, somebody would knock on it and just open it and say, I got $1 million. That would make this video a lot better. But at the end of the day, if you put in the work, you put in the effort, you grind it out, you know, no matter what it is, if you're doing that, you're gonna reap some type of reward. It might not be exactly what you wanted. Like me, like I said, you might not be exactly where you wanna be when you're 30 years old. But if you do put in that work, you do what you want to do, when you follow the dream that you have, and you kind of, you know, navigate through life, you're gonna end up in a place that is gonna make you happy. And it's really hard to sit here and be like, this is what's gonna make me happy in the future. You kind of have to have like a broad idea, you know, what's the core value here? You know, what do you really want? For me, it's about working for myself. For me, it's about having free time to do what I want. For me, it's just about freedom in general, to basically do what I want creatively, professionally, or whatever it is, just to have that freedom. And that's kind of where I am today, because I put in the work, I put in the effort, and I put in basically my entire life to kind of get to that point. And again, you know, you need to have a little bit of wiggle room. You need to not be just convinced on one destination. You need to have multiple destinations. You shouldn't even have a destination. You really should just have like a picture of an idea of a place you want to be, a place that you dream of being, and then kind of, you know, changing that sometimes. You know, if you're like, oh, I want a palm tree right there, maybe move the palm tree to the right. You know, if you need to kind of adapt and overcome, you got to be open to that. And that's what's going to make you more successful, or that's what's made me more successful, is being able to adapt to different situations and getting to where I am today. 31 years old. Am I content? Am I happy? Yes, I'm happy. Am I content? I don't know about content, but I mean, content is always, you know, it's always kind of one of those things. Like I said, I'm happy to be where I am. I'm happy that you guys are subscribed to the channel. You're watching the videos. You're supporting me. Big thank you to everyone out there who does support me. And the biggest thing that I can end this video with here is a thank you to everyone out there for just being a part of this, fun journey. 31 years old. Some of the regrets, some of the life, it might have just been a total ramble, but hopefully there's a little bit of information in there for you guys. There it is, life, baby. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I'm gonna be talking about it right here on the #1 day trading channel. See you guys later.